The attacks on Tesla are just starting to make me crazy. I don't know about you. This morning, I reported on a couple of the attacks that have been ongoing for the last 3, 4, 5 days, just repeated and repeated, just nonsense. Earlier today, Brian White and I, you might have seen the video. I'll put a card up later if I remember. Brian White and I did a video about the whole business of Tesla drivers being somehow worse than other drivers. If you didn't watch that, you definitely want to watch that. But I couldn't help myself. I had to come out with this video right now because you just can't believe it. It just gets worse and worse and worse. And anybody that believes there's no bias involved has got to have a loose screw. Take a look at this headline. Tesla robot attacked an engineer and left a trail of blood. Now, this is an attack on Tesla. And by the way, here's a robot thrown in for good measure, because of course, Tesla is now in the robot business. And we wouldn't want to start already throwing scurrilous stuff at Tesla over their robot business, would we? Oh no, why would they want to do that? Tesla robot attacked an engineer. Can you believe this? And it left a trail of blood. Doesn't it sound like this is some robot that is coming across the room and it's going to attack somebody? And after that, my gosh, this person was practically within an inch of death and left a trail of blood as they crawled across the factory floor. I mean, isn't that what you're picturing in your mind? I'm sure that's what they want you to picture in your mind. Well, then let's go on. Let's see a couple of other of these headlines. Tesla factory worker attacked by robot that drug its claws into the person's back and their arm, according to the report. This is from the New York Post. This is Washington Examiner, New York Post. These aren't little tiny newspapers. These are significant major city newspapers that have been around for a very, very long time. And these are the reports. Let's check out this one. We'll go into a little more detail in this one. Let's see. This is a Tesla robot attacks an engineer at company's Tesla's factory during a violent malfunction. It left a trail of blood and forcing workers to hit the emergency shutdown button. Data shows that 1 in every 21 Giga Texas workers was injured on the job in 2022. 2022, okay? And now an attorney, oh no, an attorney is involved in this whole thing. Oh, I wonder if the attorney is the one that, I don't know. Anyway, this is an attorney who's aiding contract laborers at the factory. Maybe has an axe to grind, tells Daily Mail, that's who this was, Daily Mail, major international newspaper, and that there's evidence that Tesla underreports accidents to state regulators. Really? Anyway, sorry. So this goes on and on. 2 witnesses watched in horror as their fellow employee was attacked by the machine designed to grab and move freshly cast aluminum parts. Yeah, okay. And then the robot had pinned him, who was a programming software for 2 disabled Tesla robots nearby before sinking its metal claws into the worker's back and arm, leaving a trail of blood along the factory's surface. The incident, which left the victim with an open wound on his left hand, was revealed in a, what year? Oh, 2021. 2021 injury report, which was filed to Travis County. Oh, and to federal regulators, where it has been reviewed by dailymail.com. While no other robot-related injuries were reported to regulators by Tesla at the Tesla factory in either 21 or 22, the incident comes amid years of heightened concerns over the risks of automated robots in the workplace. Do you know how long automated robots have been in the workplace? Like 50 years, maybe longer, 60, maybe longer. Oh my goodness. Oh, and it goes on and on and on. Reports of increased injuries due to robotic coworkers at Amazon shipping centers. Oh my goodness. You can't make this stuff up. Let's see, I think it was this one here. Yeah, let's see. The robot inflicted a laceration cut. Yeah, the engineer fell a couple of feet down a chute designed to collect scrap aluminum, leaving a trail of blood behind him. While no other robot-related incident, okay, Tesla also believed to be underreporting the number of over and over the same stuff. By the way, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to find it now, but it turns out that this employee didn't even have to go home that day, didn't even have to leave the job. 2 years ago, this employee has a robot that they forget to turn off. Their fault, not the robot's fault. The robot didn't do anything. The automation didn't do anything wrong. It was the employee who didn't turn off the third robot, which they were supposed to turn off. The robot then interacted with the employee and hurt the employee. The employee didn't get hurt. The employee had a laceration in his hand of some kind, which was not severe enough to even send him home. It was reported. It was reported to both federal and state authorities, even though it was just a minor problem where he didn't have to go home 2 years ago. Okay, and yet this is being blown up all over the internet today. All over the internet. Here's a report from, let's take a look at this one more here. I wondered if I can get it. Oh, wait a minute. Is this the Daily Mail? Whoa, darn. I have one more thing I wanted to show you here. Oh, darn. I can't find it. I don't know what I did with it. Okay, whatever. I think what we can gather from this, first of all, somebody wrote the first headline. Who knows which one it was, and talked about a Tesla robot and talked about it being the employee being, maimed within an inch of his life and being attacked and being stabbed in the back. And so, of course, these other different agencies picked up they looked at that headline going, oh man, this will get some eyeballs. And besides that, it'll kind of crucify Tesla, which we love to do. We love to get these guys. So it just went on and on. It just went over and over and over again. The same report with the same misinformation, with the same, 2 years late to the party. It's just, and here's even a local KPEL, Tesla robot violently attacks engineer at company's Tesla's factory. It just one after another, one report after another. If you look up Tesla, if you look up robot, right now, that's what you're going to find. If you Google one of those, Tesla or Tesla robot or both together, that's what you're going to find. Lots of this one report. So people all over the world are going to be like, oh my gosh. And they're going to read the headline and nothing else. You know that. Lots of people are just headline readers. Okay, first of all, let me put up that video. If you didn't see it earlier, this stuff is important. And you need to be able to hear because your friends are going to ask you, well, is it true that Tesla drivers are the most dangerous drivers on the road? And are you going to be able to respond to that? Well, if you look up here to the card, I will send you back to Brian, where Brian will explain. He did a deep dive on that and found out just exactly who the number one person who wrote this was, and the horrible way that they came up with the stats and everything else. It's just a joke. And, if you want to listen to that, you can find that earlier today. I wish there was something we could do. I feel so helpless in this situation. Do you feel helpless? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Is there something that you think that we as a community, do you think there's something Tesla should be doing? Is this something PR would help? I mean, how do you respond to this? How do you respond to something that's so nonsensical? What's Tesla supposed to do? Could they just start making a general statement? Maybe how can these companies be allowed to get away with it? Is this eventually going to take care of itself? Will these companies eventually go bankrupt and go out of business because they're putting out such nonsense that the people just go, you know what, I just can't do this anymore. Will it help X? Maybe people will start saying, I can only trust the news from X. And even there, it's not 100%, believe me, not even close. I don't know. I'm exhausted now. Tell me what you think. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit notify, do all that stuff. Buy some Cybertruck bottle openers and join me on Patreon, and do all, if you're enjoying what we do here, if it makes any sense, if it's helpful. But I really do want to hear your comments about this one. It's been great, as always, talking to you. Bye now.